Stop sleeping on open coding models. Seriously. My last video on how to bypass Anthropic's $200 per month max plan went viral. But my comment section was full of people making the exact same excuse. My laptop only has 8 gigs of RAM. If I run a open model, my motherboard will melt. Now listen to me. You do not need a $4,000 Mac Studio to run the smartest open models. Today, I'm cutting through the benchmark noise and giving you amazing open coding models that I have been personally using and that you should be actually using it right now. Cover the most common questions such as how much RAM do I actually need? How powerful should my computer be? And show you exactly how to run it on a potato laptop. So let's dive in. Now here's a secret. Open models do not always mean that you have to run it locally on your laptop. There are a variety of providers you could use that give you these open models absolutely for free. This means that basically you're using their infrastructure to run these models. You use the hosted version, you swap providers when prices change, and you never get locked in. Now, Anthropic specifically has been a lot of controversy lately, so it only makes sense that we should lean more and more on open models and own our data and what to focus on. There was a question that was asked quite a bit about billion parameters, and I just want to say a model takes roughly half its parameter counts in gigs of RAM. So a 7B model needs 4 gigs of RAM, but a 70 billion model needs 35. So now just to do a quick math, whenever you see how many billion parameters this model is capable of. The first model is Qwen 2.5, Coder family. From Alibaba, it comes in 6 sizes, half a billion all the way up to 32 billion. The two that matter for you are the 7 billion one and the 32 billion one. 7 billion fits in about 5 gigs of RAM at Q4. Great for autocomplete, refactoring, explaining code. This runs on basically any modern laptop. 32 billion needs about 20 gigabytes. This is the one that client officially recommends for agentic coding workflows. So if you have a 32 gig machine, use this. This is the right one for you. I have been using the 32 billion one because when you're chaining tool calls through MCP, you need the bigger model. The 7 billion model is a snappy autocomplete model. The 32 billion is what does the real engineering work. The next open model is Kimi K 2.6. Now, honestly, this is one of my favorites. It's completely free on kimi.com. It is 1 trillion parameters, 12-hour autonomous sessions, 32 billion active ones. It released very recently by Moonshot AI. It's honestly the strongest open agentic model on the planet right now. It runs autonomous coding sessions for up to 12 hours, coordinates 300 sub-agents in parallel, and executes 4,000 tool calls in a single run. And it has completely free access if you go to kimi.com, sign up. Here's a chat interface. There is $0, no credit card required. The other option is to use Cloudflare Workers AI. It has 10,000 free neurons per day, burns out in a few hundred Kimi calls, but enough to prototype. If you want to use Kimi K 2.6, then this is another option. Lastly, the option is Open Router. If you sign up for a new account, you do get free credits, so you could use Kimi K 2.6 there as well. One of the best coding models, period, out there. So if your workflow is give me a task and walk away, Kimi is definitely the one. The other coding model that I absolutely love is DeepSeek V4. It's free at chat.deepseek.com. It's open source SOTA on SWE Bench. It recently dropped. There are 2 models, V4 Flash, which is 284 billion parameters, 13 billion active, and V4 Pro, which is 1.6 trillion parameters and 49 billion active. It's MIT licensed. V4 Pro hits 80.6% on SWE Bench verified and 55.4% on SWE Bench Pro. That's the open source state-of-the-art agentic coding model. It explicitly ships integration with Claude Code, OpenClaw, OpenCode. DeepSeek themselves use it for their own internal agentic coding as well. You get free access here at chat.deepseek.com. That's it. There's a web app, there's a mobile app, and it's completely for free. So if Kimi is the army, DeepSeek is the surgeon. Use it when you need precision on hard engineering problems. I typically like to use for bigger, harder engineering problems or architecture problems. This model really thrives there. The last model is Gemma 4, and it's from Google. This one is special because you can genuinely run this model on not only a MacBook, but also an iPhone. It comes in a few different sizes, the E2B and E4B. E stands for effective parameters. Those run on edge devices. We are talking iPhone level hardware. The E4B is 9.6 gigabytes, fits comfortably on any modern laptop with 16 gigs of RAM. Within parameters is like asking How many books has this model read? A 7 billion parameter model has read a library. 70 billion one has read 10 libraries. So the bigger the library, the bigger the building you need to store it. Then we have 26 billion, which is a mixture of experts model, meaning only 7 million parameters are active at any given time. That's 18 gigs on disk, runs well on a 32 gig machine. And then there is a 31 billion dense model at 20 gigs. That's the one you want for real engineering work. The benchmarks here are actually wild. The 31B hits 80% of on live code bench v6 and 89% on IAME 2026. And the context window on 26 billion and 31 billion is 256k tokens. That's not a typo. That's 256,000 tokens of context. You can feed it an entire code base. Now let's put it to the test. You can run this model easily using Ollama with one command. You can totally run on this MacBook. And Gemma 4 also supports vision out of the box, which is insane. If you're building your UI, if you're building the front end of your application, you can feed it a screenshot and it will generate the code for you. So that's a real feature on a local model and it looks very promising. Now let's put this model actually to a test. I'm going to use Gemma 4 E4B right now to add auth to a Next.js app using the Clerk CLI. And Clerk CLI puts your agents in control. It detects the framework, links the app, installs the right packages, and drops in the auth files, and you are done. CLI is where the AI world is heading. Once it's done, it's going to hand it off to Gemma 4, run locally through Ollama. This is what I'm going to say. I have used this specific command, Ollama launch Claude model Gemma 4 E4B, and this is my prompt. Use Clerk CLI to add auth to this Next.js application. So first, it actually created the plan. As you can see here, it is using Gemma 4 E4B, and with this specific prompt, it first tried to create a plan. It failed here, so I guided it a little bit. And once it's done, it's executing Clerk init to set up authentication boilerplate using the global package. It detected Next.js with the app router. Since Clerk is Next.js package is already installed, it was able to set up Clerk authentication right away. So if you take a look at the code over here, we have all these files created automatically. We have proxy.ts, layout with Clerk, provider wrapped in, and we have the sign-in page as well as a sign-up page all taken care of by a open model, which is insane. Now the 256k context window is doing the real work here, by the way. The model has the entire project in context while it's making decision, and that's not something you get with smaller models. And that is why Clerk is the perfect sponsor for this video. This CLI is purpose-built for agentic workflows. You stay in the terminal, and the agent handles the setup, and you just simply ship. 3 command is all it takes, but again, all you need is this package from Clerk, and that's it. And again, if your agent is smart enough, it will install this package automatically. If not, you could just install it and point the agent to use it right away. And that's exactly what I did here. You can already see I gave it in Claude MD file, I gave it the context necessary so you could start scaffolding and using Clerk CLI whenever necessary. And that's exactly what Gemma 4 model did as well. But that's not all. Clerk can do a lot more things, such as you can tell the CLI to configure the project, set up organizations, onboard the first customer, and go live with full confidence. And that's a feature that's coming soon as well. But all of this is automatically taken care of by the CLI. Clerk handles authentication, B2B auth, organizations, billing, and a lot more. I have quite a few projects on my channel that cover Clerk in detail. I'll link them down below so you could jump right in after this video if you like. Everything you need for a SaaS is what Clerk provides. I'm also personally using it on my Next.js course.dev as well. So if you're interested, definitely take a look at the description below. Make sure to let Clerk know that you have come from this specific video. And honestly, it's the fastest way to go from zero to production auth and any modern application. So to wrap this up, the gap between open source and closed source model is honestly closing very quickly. If you're still paying Anthropic $200 a month for Claude Code Pro tier, when models like Gemma 4, DeepSeek, Kimi K2.6 exist, you're literally just setting your money on fire. Now, having said that, these models by Anthropic, OpenAI are very powerful, and I'm personally going to continue paying for them because I get a lot of benefits in terms of speed and hardware and so on, and they take care of a lot of the complexity for me. However, the gap between open models and closed models is closing very fast, and you will be able to have the intelligence running on our powerful machines very soon as well. So this is why I created this video, so you can be prepared for open models coming in and save a lot of money as well. I gave you models, 2 of them in the cloud. Again, both are open models, 1 of them in your laptop. One question you may ask is, wait, why do we bet on open models to begin with? Because first of all, I do think these companies such as OpenAI, Anthropic, they are amazing at giving us the best coding models out there. However, I do think the future of AI coding and models is running it on your machine. The models are getting better day by day. So I do think that you should get started on learning how you could run it locally, how you could use a variety of these different services so that we save money. At the same time, they are way more powerful than a lot of these premium paid models as well. So definitely we need to get ahead of the curve and start using them more and more. Lastly, as next steps, if you don't know how to set up Ollama inside Claude Code and use it completely for free, and you can definitely check out this video and stop making excuses about your hardware and go ship your application. Now let me know in the comments below what you think of these models and what your experience has been like. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.